All right. So, welcome everybody to the New Earth Now Roundtable. It was 2 years ago, I believe, that I held the first New Earth themed roundtable. And since then, Kris and I have held some elemental themed roundtables, and the elementals are definitely in on this one as well. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys all for being here. And the intention for this space is just for it to be a place where we can all bring our insights together when the world seems a little topsy-turvy, and we can sort of just help each other come back to center and share what's working for us, or visions we have, anything along those lines. I just really want it to be like this collaborative, creative, open space for everybody to just share their piece. So with that, I think it would be awesome if we could just set the tone with some breath work. And my friend Beverley of Hummingbird Energy Healing is here to lead us through that.
Hello, I'm Beverley. The important thing about breath work is if you do like a regular practice, it actually helps reset your nervous system. So with all of like the, energies being so up, down, here, there, and like trying to bring in like the new earth, it's really important to kind of like tap into how you're feeling and be able to be calm as you can throughout the whole thing. Because if you lean too much into the fear, it's like that doesn't really serve you, it doesn't serve others, and it doesn't help. So today we're going to do 3 styles, and my intention in putting the sequences together was to create like a very calming and like balancing practice, because through the different styles you can, really amp up your energy, you can slow it down, do like intuitive work. There's different styles that can aid you with that sort of thing. So the first one we're going to do is called in Sanskrit Sama Vriti Pranayama, which is commonly known as box breath. So we'll do 3 rounds of that. So it's basically you inhale for a count. So we'll probably do a count of 4, just because in case anyone's a beginner here. So you're going to inhale for the count of 4, hold at the top, another count of 4, and then exhale for a count of 4, and then hold the retention at the bottom for a count of 4. And that one actually activates the parasympathetic nervous system. So that's sort of like your rest and digest. It gets you like out of the fight or flight. So that's a good practice to kind of keep in your back pocket. Like if you're ever out anywhere and you're having a hard time or you're just nervous, you can just tune into your breath and do a little bit of breath work and nobody knows that you're doing it. So the next one is called Nadi Shodhana, and that one actually uses a hand mudra. So this one is the Vishnu mudra. So you just put down your 2 peace fingers, and then you would start with the thumb closing off the right nostril, and then you breathe up through the left and then down through the right. And then you reverse it. So to go back up the right and then down the left. So it basically becomes like ping pong. So you're just kind of passing the breath back and forth. That one actually helps balance the masculine and feminine energy, because, we all have that within us, like, between the hemispheres of the brain, like the different energies within us. So that helps like balance the two, because like there are specific styles that you can be like more in the masculine or more in the feminine. This is just balancing both. And then the last style we're going to do is called Brahmari. That one also uses a mudra, which is the Shanmukhi mudra. And that one, we're going to do a modified version. So we're going to take the thumbs and plug the ears, and then take the 2 peace fingers, cover the eyes. You'll take your top teeth and lay them on the bottom teeth, and then place your tongue on the roof of your mouth. You take a deep inhale, and then you exhale to the sound of Om. So this one actually activates the parasympathetic nervous system by increasing vagal toning. So with this practice, you can open your third eye and you can create space between your thoughts. So this is a good one to have if you're trying to do like meditation and you have difficulty kind of slowing the thoughts down and like being present. So those are the 3 that we're going to do. So if you guys are ready, we can sort of settle in, kind of do any kind of movement or shaking. You need to kind of get your body settled, maybe a little bit of stretching. And then whenever you're ready, you can close down your eyes or create a soft gaze. Maybe just start to deepen your breath. And take a moment to just kind of scan your body. Check in to see how you're feeling. we're going to move into the first style, which is the box breathing or equal ratio breathing. So I'm going to have you guys inhale for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold at the top. Exhale. Hold at the bottom. One more round. Inhale. Hold at the bottom. And then return to normal breathing. Maybe just see how you're feeling. Any sensations coming up in your body?
I'm coiling.
Now for the next one, we're going to prepare the Vishnu mudras, putting down those 2 peace fingers. So we're going to use the thumb and the ring finger. So you're going to plug the right nostril and you're going to inhale through the left, close at the top, exhale right, close at the bottom, inhale right again. Now hold at the top, exhale left, close at the bottom, inhale left, close at the top, exhale right, and then inhale right, and do 2 more rounds on your own. So now your exhale left, and just think of passing it back and forth like ping pong. And when you're done, you can place the hand on your heart. And just notice your energy. Just start to become the witness. Return to normal breathing. Now we'll prepare the Shanmukhi mudra, which is taking the thumbs, placing them in your ears. Just gently close off the ears. And then you're going to take those 2 peace fingers and gently cover your eyes. Place your top teeth on your bottom teeth and the tongue to the roof of your mouth. And you're going to inhale and then exhale with the lips sealed while making the sound of Om. You can inhale again. 3 more rounds. And when you're done, just place your hands in your lap. Just notice your energy. Just continue a few more rounds of deep inhales and exhales. And just become the witness on how you're feeling. Recognize the work that you just put in. Maybe thank yourself for showing up to this call. Maybe start to tune into the joy and the wonder of what's going to come about from this call. Now maybe tip your head forward a little bit and then slowly blink your eyes open. I don't know about you all, but the energy seems like different. It feels like everyone just kind of dropped in.
Yeah. Love it.
He's
Thank
calm.
you so much, Beverly.
You're welcome.
Calmer. Awesome. Well, leading up to this event, I went into the Akashic records to ask who wanted to come forward, what we needed to know about this event, and how we can assist in bringing new earth to our collective reality. And the goddess Seshat stepped forward. She's an Egyptian goddess, a high priestess who is a scribe. Her name means female scribe, and she keeps the records of everything that happens. And she also can help activate your DNA and help you remember. And I wanted to just share a picture of her really quick so you can see her. This is her. And as you can see, she has 7 petals above her head, which represent the 7 stars of Pleiades, and also the 7 chakras and our 7 inner planets. And you can see these little dots. She's keeping count, taking the records. You can see her little pen here. And I just thought that was really cool that she stepped forward. And I'm going to share what she had to answer my questions. So first, she showed me a large round table with all of us seated around it. And she says, "Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are all gathered here today to share what's in your heart, to strike up a loving connection, to bring your heart's desires to fruition through your words and your actions. Thank you for devoting yourselves to your highest good, which in turn contributes to the highest good of all. Imagine a large glowing lotus in the center of this table. Each one of you contributes a petal that may allow us to open our understanding. We all have different stories, and our stories all connect at the center of this lotus. We each hold a piece to the great puzzle of life and existence. Here you will offer your petal from your heart in hopes of bringing greater awareness to your group and anyone who watches or listens to this event. You all are writing the records as we speak. So we ask you, what would you like to be written on your behalf? What would you like to leave behind? And what would you like to create? Eventually, the lotus releases her petals to end one cycle and begin anew. You too do the same in each moment. And at this moment, on a grand scale, the petals are falling as a new flower emerges. It is all happening at the same time, and we thank you for having the awareness to see this and to be a part of the birthing of a new collective story on Earth, connected to all time and space. You do not have to understand this all with your mind. Just allow what resonates to flow into your heart and allow the rest to float away. Take what you need in this moment and leave the rest. Allow the petals to fall gracefully, floating and melting into the water while the new flower emerges. Thank you for bringing your petal, your piece, your heart to contribute to the whole. We love you. We honor you. You rock," which that always makes me laugh. I often get that at the end of an Akashic reading that I do. The "you rock." Love it. It's just
That's awesome.
yeah. But Yeah, so I just wanted to open the circle with that. And now I'm going to turn it over to Kris to share what she has from the elementals.
Okay, guys. So Haiku came in today, and that's my, well, not today, this was Wednesday, my dragon guide, and he wants to share this with you. One of the purposes there is to ascend, reaching a higher level of consciousness. You have chosen this for your soul before you incarnated in the physical body there on earth. The elemental guides will assist you in going higher and higher, as high as you want to take your conscious awareness. It's safe to do this now on your planet. Your guides have signed a soul contract with you, and they're able to assist in ways that you never even knew possible. They're holding space for your missions, transmuting density and heaviness, lifting you out of the 3D paradigm, and assisting you in carrying the higher frequencies of light that are coming into the planet at this time. When we ask you to connect more with your elemental guide, we ask you do this in a way that you feel called. There's no right or wrong way. It's what feels good and resonates within your heart chakra. Your heart chakra is the key to the elemental realms, and the more you ascend, the easier it is to connect with us consciously. Many of you connect with us now in the astral realms and in your dream states. We've worked with you over many, many lifetimes across the galaxy in the star systems and planets of your galaxy. We're here to also remind you that you're a galactic soul and that you have a mission to help Earth and humanity ascend, and you're required to hold space to do this. I ask you to do this in a way that resonates with you. Set the intention to connect with your missions and your guides. Set the intention to be shown how we are working together, and it will be done. And this goes for any of your guides, not just your dragon guide. You could set the intention to connect with your mermaid, your fairy, your unicorn, your dragon, any of your elemental guides. You may connect with us through meditation, visualization, in nature, and through any other way that you find yourself connecting with your guides. Thank you for your service to the light. Thank you for saying yes to the elementals and your soul's missions on Earth at this time. We honor you on your journey. And remember, your soul is calling you home. So what the dragons always reminded me of when I began connecting with them is that it's all about remembering. And you've probably heard me say this before, but in meditation, I would always just see the word remember in capital letters. So they're the power aspect of your soul, and they just want to remind you that you have all these great things inside of you that you probably forgot, that you've worked with the dragons before, you've worked with all the elementals before, especially if you feel called to the elementals, to nature. Fairies are very shamanic, so they're the keepers of Gaia. So I know a lot of us who are here are shamans and have been in other lifetimes, and that connecting with the land, the air, the soil, water, all of that's going to bring you closer to your elemental guides. And like he said, it's whatever you feel called to. I mean, if you're feeling, my guides seem to like, they're always there, but lately it's been my dragon guide has been, in my awareness. Sometimes it'll be my unicorn guide, but they also have their own missions right now. And I know I've had different experiences talking to them recently, and they're all very busy. So just like we're busy here, if you're not really feeling them around you, it's probably because they're doing something else, because they have missions with us, but they also have their own missions in the higher realms to assist Earth and the planet. My unicorn guide right now is assisting other unicorns, and she's mentoring them for the new Earth children who will be born, in her words, after 2027. There's going to be a big influx of unicorns assisting the new Earth children. So she's mentoring them right now, the unicorns. And it's just really cool to think they're doing all this stuff on their own, but they're also helping us. So I invite you to connect in however you feel called to do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kris.
Thank you.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just call on each person in the order that I'm seeing you on my screen to bring forward whatever it is that you'd like to share. And so first I see Debra and Nick. Would you guys like to go first?
I'll go first. Some of you may already know me. Hi, and some of you may not know me yet. Nice to meet you. Yeah, so I do all kinds of stuff. I work with angels. I work with the Akashic records. Yeah, and I do hypnosis, and it kind of all started with the angels for me. And now I kind of blended everything together. I do Akashic Records readings where I will get messages from the angels. And I do healing, angel healing in my hypnosis sessions. And I also offer this in a mentorship package where I work with people like Holly. I'm working with Holly right now. And yeah, so just trying to bring all of this stuff to people that are ready to embrace all of this, like this multi-dimensional world that we live in, basically. And yeah, trying to connect them to their highest self possible so that they can live the best life possible. That's kind of it in a nutshell.
Yes. And for me, it's been quite a journey as well. So professionally, I actually recently started, thanks to this beloved lady next to me. But I've been working with plants for a very long time. So I think it's about 7 years ago that I, for the first time, really connected to the Amazonian traditions. And I studied under an ayahuasquero, which I'm still a student. It's a lifetime study. I've been dieting mainly trees. So trees are kind of the biggest teachers in my line of work that I've been doing so far. And then recently they got me introduced back into Kung Fu because first my own journey started with mindfulness, breathing and just healing my body by rectifying my posture, which was, Kung Fu was the biggest one for me, that it really corrected me. And it brought my awareness more to breath as well and the importance of breath. And now actually after my last diet, I got reintroduced to Kung Fu and got myself into discipleship into a Shaolin temple in China as well. They offer online courses now, and now I really want to go and combine them together with the plant work. Because with plants, it's very mental and very energetical, and also physical through the purging and the cleansing that we go through. But there is a big thing from people from the West coming to the jungle, and we all have the same thing, that we're much stuck in our head and that it's all around the mental plane. So now to get back into Kung Fu, it's like a really beautiful combination to get like the mental, the energetical, and the body completely combined together. And that's kind of the direction that I'm going through for myself now. And then besides that, I'm also doing coaching, and I'm doing readings with cards and writing lots of stuff. I like to write, and it's a beautiful way of expressing myself.
Magazine. Wendy writes for our magazine, Kris writes for our magazine, and
Yes.
Kate writes for our magazine. So if any of you ever want to share a blog post or you want to share your story, feel free to contact me. Sorry for cutting you off.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
That's okay. No, but and it's actually through the magazine as well that I kind of started to think about writing a book on the way how Akashic record stories and remembering your Akashic history, how it applies to your life and how you can apply it into your daily routine, actually, into really like grounding it in today, do something with it today as well. And then, of course, the magazine is actually one of our efforts that we want to bring into the world to build up community. Because like today, there is so much information going on that it's sometimes really, really hard to separate or to really filter all the information. And I think it was very important to have in different ways a safe space where people can share and just connect as well. And that's actually the reason why we started the magazine.
Yeah, because there's just like, I think it's like an old-fashioned thing. I used to, because I've been talking to my guides since I was 12. I'm about to be 37. So I've been talking to the angels since before the internet. And then you had the library, you had to go and read books, and you like didn't talk about this stuff to people. You didn't say, oh, I'm into angels. They were like, oh, you're one of those weirdos. So, but then you had these paranormal magazines, like monthly magazines. And I was like, maybe we should start something like that, like a magazine again, like cozy space that is offline that's not connected to any social media platform. And that's how it all got started.
Well,
I love it. I love it so much. And you know, it's funny. I even think that still you know, you say like back then nobody talked about this stuff. And I think like a lot of us still kind of have a restriction on our throats, you know, to come out and really come out of that spiritual closet, you know. So I think it's helpful for us to gather in these groups, and what you're doing with the magazine is so cool for that as well, just to give people an outlet for that kind of expression and to find people that they can relate to as well, you know. So yay, kudos to you. Thank you guys for all that you're contributing. And Debra's the one who will be leading us through hypnosis later too, which I'm really excited about.
And it's interesting that you brought up the throat issue, because I have quite a big amount of the hypnosis will be focused on the throat. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's funny too. Leading up to this event, I got this necklace actually that it's Amazonite, which helps you speak your truth. And I asked what it can hold an essential oil, and I asked which oil to put in, and it was blue lotus. And this was only a few days ago on this Cancer new moon. And it all just kind of, it correlates so well together. And I really feel like the energies right now are encouraging us to sort of take off that cloak and to open our voices a little more. And we don't have to be all like out there woo woo, like, you know, like trying to be the weirdest possible. It doesn't look like that necessarily. It's just not hiding as much, and maybe just speaking up a little more, because I feel like the energy is opening up. I think people's minds are opening a little more to be ready to hear some of this stuff, you know.
Has anybody else seen other people, like, you know, in their group, I would say family, friends, who are opening up to these concepts that maybe even a year ago wouldn't have been, you know, like to the different, I don't know, they have questions or they seem to just be more curious.
yeah.
I've noticed that. And I feel like in the last year, it's really amped up.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Although we don't really have
Awesome.
a social life around here.
Yeah,
in Spain.
we're just hermits. We're basically hermits, so I don't know.
No, but if you go and check out family and some of the people that really contact us.
All my friends live
Yeah.
in the phone.
Yeah.
All your friends live what?
In the phone.
I know, right?
Yeah.
My internet friends.
Yeah.
You know what? I internet friends at least understand us. We
Yeah.
found each other.
And
Oh.
I want to put something out there. My friend whose house I'm at right now told me she manifested me. So
Yeah,
she
I
put
remember
out
that.
to the universe, I want a friend nearby who gets this stuff. And sure enough, we met. And so I have a best friend that I connect really deep with. So it's worth, you know, putting it out there and see what the universe brings, you know. And I have experienced people around me asking questions and opening up more. Yeah.
But it's also really important because even if people don't have anybody around to really talk about these kind of things, and you're going through an awakening, yeah, it can get crazy sometimes. And if they really start to doubt themselves, it's really important that you find a community where
Yeah.
people lift each other up and support each other without being judged and so on, you know. So you can do a lot more damage to somebody that's just rediscovering all these kind of things. Just being open to it and just to see whatever they have to express. It's like everybody has their own unique experiences in this whole happening.
Yeah, totally. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you guys so much. Britteni, are you ready to share?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay. So I had like notes from the last New Earth that like kind of started me thinking about like community, because I'm a lot like them, like very hermit mode. Very and it's hard because I have children, so like I can't be totally introverted and in my own world. Like I have responsibilities and things outside in the world. So I my focus is I really like words. I'm a wordsmith and a writer, and so the magazine is super exciting. So I just was like, my intention was to focus on like what words came to mind for New Earth. The three words that came to mind was return, like a return of remembering, a return of the elementals, a return of, okay, what do I have? Like hand-built artisan crafts, a return of tangible things, you like local food, just a return of like real earthy, like the elementals. Very like Native American, like just a returning to respect for our world, for our bodies, for just that type of return. The second word was true community, which I have not seen. So, which is what we're building today, is like true community where you can speak from your heart space and feel like an unconditional, just brotherly, like you can say whatever you want and just be accepted, and a safe, free space. True friendships, true leadership, which is really exciting because especially out in the world, like, yeah, common sense isn't very common. Our leaders are just total bullshit. And so true leadership and true like respect that is earned, respect, like, I don't know, just like these type of words and these type of like deep foundational type of changes, that was what kept coming to mind. And I was like, yes, like, please, like bring it down and like actually have something that we can build New Earth on that is gonna be like a good foundation. So that makes me real, because I'm a Taurus, and it's dealing with change has been insane for me on the soul level, on a physical level, on a spiritual level, of all of those layers and layers of BS just being ripped out, and seeing everything for what it is, and being a mom and having a body, and like it's insane. So having that good foundation, and just even like knowing that like it's being built slowly, I mean at every moment it's being built, but that just made me feel like so much relief and like very excited. True speech came to mind. Public airways, like what we're doing right now, sending out truth, like it's just going to reverberate. It's just going to just boom, 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 boom. I can just see it being lit up, and people being like, oh, look, they're brave enough to actually say how they're feeling, and I can too. And like, actually, like the people, I don't know, just like true republic and democracy and like those type of deep things are like, that's really exciting for me, because that's a deep, true change that's going to last. So that makes me feel good. So return, truth, and heart-led. And I was like, that, because if our leaders and our things are being built from that heart-mind coherence, like, yes, that makes me feel really good. So heart-led living, heart-led learning, and like what we're creating, like actually saying things that are totally different than the mainstream, totally a new way of thinking, a new way of living, a new way of like integrating actually real, I don't know, like real health, real wholeness.
Yeah.
Like, it feels really good. And so in my community, I have seen crazy changes. I have seen, because we live in a very religious community. So that's one reason why we're hermits. We're not. That's those paradigms were busted for me a long time ago. So, yeah, like, but I brought a friend. There's a new metaphysical shop that opened up in town, which boom, already way more people gardening, way more people thinking about their food. We live in Alberta, so I mean, there's cattle everywhere, there's farms everywhere. So that kind of is just already like, that's around us. So we think about what we eat, we focus on things, but it's not like it's still a toxic society where we live in. And so I can see all these beautiful changes of people actually thinking about what they're eating, thinking about what's in our skies, like freaking polluting our air. I'm just like, and the water, I'm seeing that not happening, because that was a huge fear, like water being controlled, the air being like, I was just like, oh God, like, please, like the elemental things needed to be protected because it was going down a crazy ass place. And so I can see the people building gardens all around me, people, and just unplugging and not giving a shit about what the man says to do, or like, it's so empowering. It really makes me feel really excited, because it's not just one person, me living under a rock, like being so scared to even say my opinion about anything. That's changing. And I'm like, yes, if we can actually have conversations out of that heart space and still have different of opinions and still have, but just that overall wellness for everyone, that's awesome. And so that's what I've been seeing. That's what I've been feeling. I feel like empowered. I feel the feminine rising and being able to rest in however we feel. Being able to rest in that. Being like, I feel like shit because there's shitty stuff happening and that's okay. Like, Mother Earth is just so has our back right now, and it feels amazing. Because I have never, me as a person, haven't had much of feminine community, like nothing at all in my experience thus far. So feeling that change and feeling and being able to relax into that, it feels very good and very welcome. So that's mine.
Thank you, Britteni. I love it. I love it. I'm feeling into all of that as well. And I'm so glad that I like how you shared that you can see it, like you're seeing it around you. And I do feel that too. I feel that there are things shifting. We just have to be open to see as well.
Yeah.
Beverley, are you ready to share?
Yes. It's interesting because kind of piggybacking off of what Britteni was just saying, it's like, if I find myself like looking at, okay, there's issues with the food, the air, the water, like this, that, it's like that again moves towards like the fear. And like what I've been getting from my guides, they're like, do not fear it. Like, do not fear, like, do not lean into fear, do not. And I'm like, oh, like, how can I hold the higher frequency and like be more, aware of like what my thoughts are? So one of the things that came to me is like moving more towards like being, like how are we all being? Because what came to me was like being a part of something greater, but the key word is being. And then sort of like holding the vision that like all are one, like we are all one, and that we are the thread of life that runs through all of us, but this is the same thread that binds us in love. So it's like leaning more towards love. How can we cultivate love as opposed to like, feeding the fear? And it's like creating that balance more so. And then for me, I've been doing like a lot of like healing work and like allowing, like my word for 2023 is allow. It's just like allowing thoughts, allowing feelings, like just allowing things to be as they are instead of like moving to like a place of control. So it's sort of like, getting comfortable in the uncomfortable, and then noticing like how are the things I'm doing supporting me. Like one of the big things for me is like exercise and like doing stuff like that. And it's like through that I can build self-trust and then feel better. And then it's like you can make better choices and like do things differently. Because I had like a hard time sort of like realizing, between everything was going on and this and that, but also being different, being like the black sheep in the family and being like, well, why is it on me? Like, why do I have to do whatever? And it's like, instead of leaning into the why, because my guides would be like, you're asking the wrong questions. And it's like, to just being like, all right, like, this is like how it is. Like, what can we do about it? How can we be better? So yeah, that's what I feel. And then the last thing is like, I've been receiving a lot of mirrors, like people are mirroring sort of like how I used to be. So I'm actually like seeing my progress. Cause sometimes if you're like, oh, I don't feel like anything's changing, I don't feel like I'm changing. Cause a lot of it's like doing the internal work in order to change the external.
Mhm. Yeah, beautiful, Beverly. Thank you so much. Ellie, are you ready to share?
Yes, I am. I really like what you said, Beverly, and it does lead into what I've had come up for me in my entire life, really, is around feelings and being able to actually feel them and not push them away. So I have a Scorpio moon and a Pisces ascending. So I'm very much about my feelings. Everything is about feelings for me. And it's always been something that I judge myself for. And I've realized that they're really incredibly important to feel everything that I'm feeling and to use my discernment with the feelings and to not push fear away. Fear is something that shows us the window to whatever it is that needs to be healed. It's a portal into whatever traumas I had from my past or my childhood that really need to be looked at. So I've had a ton of come up around relationship in the last 4 weeks, I'd say, that have been like bam, 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 bam. The same exact scenarios with different people from both situations with my mother and my father from my childhood that I thought I had worked on, I have reprogrammed, I know what they are, but showing up in relationships with friends, spouse, children, like, and all the ways, and realized that there's a through line that I have not exactly healed bits and pieces of my feminine or my masculine. And I got to determine like which ones those were. So that feels to me like that's something for everybody, that relationship is for review right now. Like it's really important to look at our relationships and all of our friendship, your spouse, your children, all your relationships with your coworkers, your boss, whoever it is, with yourself, and especially with ourselves, and figure out where we're not showing up for ourselves and being able to provide whatever it is we did not receive from our parents as children for us now, so we can heal all of them. And so then we can, moving forward, call in relationships that are aligned for our highest good from doing that. So as we're showing up for ourselves, we are getting our needs met, and then our needs are going to be met easily through the relationships that we're calling in now. And I have been without friendship for, I would say, 6 years about, until just very recently. Wendy's friend, where she's at now at her house, she reached out to me on Instagram and was like, I don't know, I just needed to talk to you. And my initial reaction was like, oh God, this woman must be crazy. She just reached out to me, like, I don't even know this person. And I just told myself, like, I have to give her a chance, because I have been asking my guides and the universe and God and everybody for friends. Like, I just need some friends in my community who share the same visions as me, who share the same knowledge as me, that I can speak my truth around and feel comfortable with. And I gave her a chance, and she's the most beautiful, magnificent soul I think I have ever met in my life. And then I met Wendy, who is also magnificent and brilliant and a clear channel. And I feel very comfortable around both of them. And I feel like my community now is just like exploding in a million ways, all based on love. And we can all show up authentically, and that feels amazing.
Yes.
I never had that. So a lot
Yay!
of yay.
Yay! I feel the same.
And a lot of messages I keep receiving are around keep on keeping on, just keep doing what you're doing, keep going, keep doing it. Just the encouragement from up above is just repetitive every single day. Keep on keeping on. And then we've had a lot of rain here in the Northeast. It has rained every single day for the summer, which is very unusual, but it feels like a purification to the earth, and it feels like regeneration to me. So I have been actually enjoying it. And a lot of people around me are like, oh my God, it needs to stop. And it's caused a bunch of devastation. We've had a lot of floods and a lot of things happen in various areas that have caused a lot of tragic situations with the water. But it feels like this is what Mother Earth needs to do right now for our area, because there's a lot of drug addiction around here, and there's a lot of things that just need to be cleared. Like, she's just trying to purify So that's what it feels like to me. And then I keep also getting messages about allowing myself to dream big, because I have not allowed that for a very long time. And as I do that, and I'm allowing myself to have these dreams and these big dreams, that I'm replenishing my well. I'm feeding my soul what it needs and what I'm here for, which is to anchor light. And I'm allowing myself to do that. So I think all of these things are all related, coming back to the relationship with myself, most importantly. And then I get to create amazing relationships with other people. And then some other things that came in today were, it's time to speak it out into the world. And you are wise and you have knowing. And this information is very important to share with others. And then don't allow your words to go unspoken, which is the same kind of theme. And showing up for yourself in all the ways. Keep on keeping on. And you right now is the best.
Yay. Oh my gosh. I love it so much, Kelly. And I'm so glad we met. So glad. Send big love. And receiving your love. Awesome. Okay, so Wilson, are you ready to share?
Yes, I am. Wow! Thank you for your sharings. Thank you for all the wonderful messages, the insights. Thank you. Receiving with all my heart here, enjoying it, being in your presence, feeling the energy. It's so wonderful and high. And thank you. So I want to introduce myself. My name is Wilson, and I live in the Netherlands. I am born and raised in Amsterdam, and this journey is so overwhelmed and so magical because yes, I grew up in a lower state, let me call it 3D, and living from in a parents that isn't in harmony. There were a lot of fights in my family, and I grew up like that. You know, a lot of dramatic experiences that I overcame, and I always knew and that my higher self was with me, and that I always was guided by everything around me and God first place, and it was so amazing where I'm now, and I have like different relationships where I needed to take those lessons and to grow as a person, as a soul, and now I'm here and I arrived at a place where I have to be, and I call it now 5D, you know, heaven on earth, and I am here, and after everything I went through, wow, it's so amazing to be here right now and to be in this connection with all of you, and that's where we're heading because yes, it's an internal phase what we're going through, and the more you clean up from internally, the more the higher the dimensions are going to be, the higher you're going to flow and 50 and beyond, and all the elementals you can connect with, and yes, I now am not like in a so in a state that I'm like 23 hours fasting and 1 hour eating, so I'm fasting and transforming and sun gazing, grounding, connecting with nature, and everything I'm doing is like energetically connecting to light up the grid for the new earth and for all of us to enter the gate and to be energetically connected with everything around us. And that's so important for me to work from my heart space and to grow and elevate all the other people around us. And I'm doing it through my Instagram. That's where I know Kris from. Seeing you right here. If I'm going too fast, just say, and I can go a little bit slower.
Oh, you're
No,
fine.
Yeah, everybody following me. Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yes,
the
yes,
main
very
purpose of where I'm going through, and taking the leadership of this new earth energies, and it's so high right now, and everything I'm grounding in. And like in my backyard, I have like an apple tree, and I go every day, sit and below the apple tree and ground myself and take up the energies and sing and be so happy, and the energies are so high, and I know that I'm like fulfilling my purpose by just being who I am in my authenticity. So doing that, I can like, yeah, plant the seeds in other people, and so that I can come close to that authenticity, because that's like the revolution, the authenticity that we have as persons, and growing and cleaning up ourselves, cleaning the colon from the inside and all the parasites that are residing there, so we can bring heaven on earth and manifest it. And that's what I'm doing now in 3 years now, to clean it and doing shifambu and to ground myself and to be plant-based and not eating meat anymore and dairy and all those things, you know? So we can ascend on a high level and to be connected with the oversoul and a high self to bring up, yeah, the heaven on earth. It's my destiny. And all of you here, I don't know if you can align with it, with all my words, but that's where we're going. And yeah, I hope you can feel it too. And ooh, it's like the work, we have to keep doing the work, because we are here right now in the golden age. There were more golden ages in the past, so the sun has all the memories, and that's why it's important to sun gaze, to take all the light codes from the sun, because all the golden ages, like, yes, what Kris was telling is remember, is remembering all the times we had and in the past and all the afterlives and everything that happened. We already know it. It's already encoded in our DNA, and that's why we are like going and awakening dormant DNA. And awakening those dormant DNA, we can have like talents and abilities and gifts that we always had before, and that's what I'm like experiencing now, and that's what I'm sharing now also on my Instagram, so other people can see that, like, whoa, look what he's doing, and all of those things I have it also inside, but you have to reconnect with it and upgrade it and ground yourself, because grounding with yourself is connecting with the central sun. And the central sun is also like the mental of everything, and then you can upgrade and download all the frequencies, so you can achieve what you want, and all your desires can come into fruition. So that's where we're going, and yeah, it's such a amazing time to be here, and all your insights, what you shared, I feel it, and all the chemtrails that they throwing upon us, and oh, there's nothing compared with where we're going, because that lower world is crumbling completely. So we're ascending now to the highest levels, and in those highest lights, the truth is coming out. We are the truth. We are the people that will wake other people and like be like yeah, connecting with the grid, you know, energetic field and the oversoul, everything is connected. So being here and around this table with such a beautiful souls like all of you is such an honor. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you that I can share my truth with all of you, and oh, yeah, it's so amazing. And yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your truth with us, Wilson. That was beautiful.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Wendy, can I share something that was coming through as Wilson was talking? And it was just,
Sure.
so picturing the great central sun, and I know a lot of us do our grounding in different ways, but if you do, like he was saying, and it's since Wendy, you had done a video a while back, and it reminded me, you were talking about the sun, and it came through that the sun opens your heart chakra more. So when I do my grounding in the morning and my protection, I ask the great central sun to send me the light codes, but then to see my consciousness expanding, my heart chakra expanding, seeing my higher self, you know, literally like, hold on, let me show you what I'm talking about. Be right back. Seeing this, hold on, let me switch to my screen. So your I am presence, right? So you're connecting, you're up here, the great central sun. This is your higher self. Here you are. Ask for all those light codes to come in for your best and highest good, and to integrate them seamlessly into your awareness and your physical body. And ask Archangel Metatron to surround those codes with his orange light, which I learned from Debra. So to ask Archangel Metatron, and he's actually the Archangel of children, and the New Earth children really benefit from connecting with Archangel Metatron also. But his light codes are so high that that's why I asked him to help me integrate those codes seamlessly. But I was thinking about that as Wilson was talking, and how we all have our own activation codes, right? So when you resonate with me, it's because your activation codes are similar to mine, right? The elemental codes, being a light activator and a light anchor on Gaia, I carry those codes. So if my messages and the things I share resonate with you, then surely you have those codes within you, or else you really wouldn't care what I had to say, probably. So I want everybody to realize that your service work to the light, to Prime Creator, comes in so many different ways. It can even come in, like he was saying, with connecting. I mean, I think a lot of us have probably been like service industry workers in the past, waitresses, bartenders, cashiers. Think about people who are always connecting with community and helping other people, but in ways of you never would have even realized. You're sending your light codes out. I live within a mile of a really major highway that runs east to west in the United States. It's Highway 44. And I am always sending out my light. And so anybody who's open to receive that, who's going up and down that highway or anywhere in this area, is receiving the light codes that I am sending out. So it's really interesting to think of how we're this one person, but yet planting those seeds and connecting that light and connecting the grid. And I just get really excited about it. So I had to share.
Whoa, nice.
Thanks for reminding me, Wilson, because as you were saying that was all coming into my awareness.
Can I say just one thing before we go to another person? And I was thinking about the breathwork we was talking about, and it's so important to heal your emotional body doing the breathwork. I'm doing it now like for a couple of years, and it helped me so much because I'm doing like the Wim Hof technique. It's like breathing like for 3 minutes and in out, and then holding it for 1 minute, and then 1.5 minutes, and then 2 minutes. In my experience, the more I get and then to hold my breath, and the more I get there, the more higher I vibrate. And it helped me so much to heal like my emotional body, to fix my vibration, and to ground myself, to connect with my higher self. So the breath work, also the breath work we did before was really nice. Thank you, Beverley. Yes.
I agree. That was really calming,
Yes.
Beverly. So I
Yeah.
agree too.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's awesome that you've been doing like your own practice.
Yes, it's really powerful. Thank you.
Great. All these tips will be so great for everybody watching or listening. Kate, are you ready to share?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Okay, so I'm Kate, and I'm also in Canada. Britteni, I think you're in Alberta, right? I'm in Ontario. So I work with the planets and I work with the animals. I provide readings, channeled messages that they bring through for people. And when I was sitting in my morning routine, I have my morning routines that I do where I meditate and connect with my guides. They showed me an image, and I've been seeing this image for a really long time because we're talking about this earlier in the call at the beginning about Kris, you asked, like, are you seeing that more and more people are being curious and awakening and that kind of stuff? And I saw again, and they always show me this, but it's like this huge group of people, and it's like the eyes are kind of like blinking open, you know, like the sleepy eyes we have, and they're sort of like rubbing the sleep out of their eyes, and I see the hearts lighting up, and it's happening. And that's what I keep hearing from my guides, like, it's happening. The hearts are lighting up, like people are awakening, like it's happening quicker and quicker. And so that's definitely something that I've noticed in my own life with people. But it was also interesting because Kelly, you were mentioning about relationships and that coming up for you to look at. And that's something that's been coming up for me a lot, especially this week. And again, like when I was working through this and I was connecting with my guides, like they were saying this is a time, like part of this awakening where a lot, and I mean, it makes sense with, of course, the astrology and the nodes changing and everything, but the relationships really coming up to look at those relationships in our lives. But ultimately, like you were saying, Kelly, it's like the relationship with ourself. And for me, it's like the relationship with my body. Like, what energy am I allowing into my energy fields? Like, not only people, but like sounds and food and liquid, and like all of that stuff is really coming up. And it just feels like, I mean, just within the last couple of months, my diet has totally changed. I mean, just suddenly I couldn't even really eat meat anymore. I couldn't eat dairy. Like, my body doesn't want it. It just wants the plant-based stuff. And I'm just going with it. I'm like, really? You know how you always have a bit of resistance at first? I'm like, come on. Like, I can't like not eat dairy. Like, I can't do this. They're like, you got to do it. And even my body just wasn't allowing it to go in. Like, it just, and I think that's going to be happening with more of us as this golden light keeps shining through. It's like no joke now. Like, it's go time in a way. You know what I mean? Like, it's happening so quickly. And so, you know, even for me this week, and I talked about this a little bit on my stories yesterday on Instagram, but I had stuff coming up from a relationship that I was in 20 years ago that I thought I had moved on from, and I had moved on and it was all good. But no, that was coming up really, really strong. And it's like, this is part of the process, and feeling those emotions and sitting with them and understanding them and trusting your body and trusting your discernment and knowing that that's not your path going forward. And it's very jarring because you think, oh, I dealt with that's all done. And it's like, no, like, this is serious time. Like, we need to like flush this stuff out. So, yeah, I just have I just feel so much compassion for all of humanity, because I just think there's so much coming up, and especially around the heart. Like, you know, that's something that even a lot of messages I get with the planets and the animals, it's always about the heart. Like, how do you come back to your heart? And I feel like that's a big part of what we're going through now with this awakening in humanity, is like people trusting their hearts again, because it just feels like, you know, we've been through so many times and thousands of years where it's like we're programmed not to trust our heart. But our heart, like, it's about coming home to our heart, and our heart is like one of our biggest allies. And like, even when I'm seeing all these people and kind of the eyes opening, they show me the heart starts lighting up, and I'm even hearing the word, it's like a lighthouse. Like, you become a lighthouse to then help these other people find you. Like, when we speak from our heart, when we live from our heart, when we follow our heart. So I'm just loving that other people were also getting these heart messages, because that's what I've been getting a lot. And the whole thing around fear, I remember it was 3 years ago, and you know, it was what's going on and in the world. And my guides, I kept hearing love over fear, love over fear, love over fear. And like, they kept, and I'm like, what? Okay. Like, I kept saying, I don't know what that means. I mean, now I understand. It's like, this is a time for humanity to get back into our hearts, because our hearts will lead us home, and they'll lead us the way home. They'll lead us all back to home, to ourselves, and back to that golden light that we all are, you know, that spark. So I just love being here with all of you, because it's just so beautiful to hear everyone's experience and what everyone is getting. And it's so cool to see how there's so many parallels and so many alignments. Like, we're all getting similar things, and it's not just us, like so many other people are, and it's just going to light up the world. So, yeah. So thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Kate. Love that. Love that. Beautiful.
No, but true. Something that I would like to share as well. Now, talking to Kate, that you mentioned about like the feeling for food. We've been experiencing it ourselves as well. Like, we didn't mind eating cheese and meat as well, still on our spiritual path, you know. But it's really like the body really starts to react more and more heavily towards like eating too much cheese or drinking too much milk or too much meat, that you just get tired. A couple of days ago, I could, not a couple of days ago, it's a little bit longer now, but I could just eat some bread with some meat on top of it. I would go get ready to get to work, and all of a sudden you just fall asleep almost, because it's way too heavy for the body to digest. Yeah, it's very interesting, and really learning like the more and the more that you clear and cleanse your body, like, yeah, your body just doesn't take anymore what's actually not so good. And it's all of a sudden that you realize like, oh wow, I just actually got myself so used to eating very poorly and bad, which was already draining my energy so much. And now, by just being clean and eating more vegetables and lighter food,
Salads, yeah, a lot of salads and soups.
That we
is the price you pay for living in a high consciousness.
it
Yeah.
is more energy, just happier feeling as well. And even
Yeah.
like I can speak for myself personally, like my dreams were always black. And now I really start to see like I have lucid dreams practically every night and so on. So it really is something big to really clean your body out and to adjust your food already and to go out in nature more, ground some more, pay attention to breathing and to your body. It's amazing. Like really, thank you for bringing it all together, everybody, because like everybody's connecting. Like it's beautiful to see. So
Yeah, totally.
What I'd like to add to that is also what I've noticed when I switched from a regular shampoo to, I had an experimental phase for a while where I was using eggs and rye flour to wash my hair. And what happened after a few weeks of going completely no shampoo, my third eye opened completely in 2017 because I stopped using chemicals on my head.
Wow.
Like it could be a coincidence, but I'm guessing it's connected.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, yeah.
That's wild.
And eggs are actually super good to clean your hair because they take the oil off of your scalp and they are exactly the same as using shampoo. I find there's no difference.
There's a war on consciousness. You have to protect yourself so good right now in these times. There's a war on consciousness. Yes.
It is, and it's the same with the information these days as well. Like you really have to be careful, or like wouldn't say, but there is so much fear-based content out there in a way that it's really important that you just really consciously choose whatever that you take in. If it's about food, if it's about the air that you breathe, the water that you drink, stuff you watch on TV, the music that you listen to. You can really avoid it and really choose what you want to manifest or have more in your life by just like making the choice every day again of what do I take and what do I leave on the side, you know? And it's really noticeable how it starts to form and like amplify as well in the day. If you choose like healthy content and so on, it will just bring more good stuff, you know? But it's
Absolutely.
something to be really aware of.
so true.
Take out the sugar, salt, all those things. Take it out, and you will feel so much better. You're right.
Yeah, you get more sensitive as well. Like on the diets, we do it as well, that you just have plain food, no spices, no salt, no sugar, no meat, also nothing fried. And if you then then you go for a long period in isolation. I prefer in nature when you're in the Amazon. Like here in Spain, it's not really possible, but like it's very curious how sensitive you get, and that you really return to your biological state of being.
Childlike
Like,
nature, your childlike
yeah.
nature, your inner child. You awaken the inner child, and you be like your authentic self, shining wherever you go. You're smiling, laughing, and everybody sees you and look at you, and people stare at you because your frequency is high, and this is where we're going.
Well, and you become more aware as well of the very subtle things like energies of plants and so on. Definitely, if you're deep in the Amazon and you're doing this, like, all of a sudden you could hear trees and plants talking to each other, and there's all these subtle things that we don't even notice when you're living in a big city every day.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very beautiful to witness, but you have to allow yourself to get into those places, though. It's
Yeah. Well, thank you
allow.
guys for sharing. I want to keep it moving along just in the interest of time. Sarah, are you ready to share?
Sure am. I have to say, Kate, I heard a really solid Ontario, come out of your mouth, and I was like, oh, thank God. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me, Wendy. Your opening brought me to tears unexpectedly. I did not know about Seshat, but she feels very familiar and like home. So that was very heartwarming as an opening. And Wendy and I met online through Lori Ladd community, 3 years ago now, Wendy?
Yep.
A while back. I read tarot. That's how I started in my journey. But I'm also a channel, and I do healing work for other people and for myself. I pulled some tarot cards when I first came online here, and I feel like the biggest message I'm getting for the group is just kind of, and whoever's listening and resonates, is just looking at the ways that we are hiding truths from ourselves, how other people hide them from us, or how society is participating in that narrative. And also, but just in a turn, like for the individual, what is it, the question that it's begging is, what is it that we are perhaps lying to ourselves about, that are our own truths, our own shadow, and how we've created our reality based on the things that we digest and think and believe. And how is that stopping us from moving forward into our highest vibration and what we want to create? Because I feel a lot of people, based on what I'm seeing, especially in the cards and how I'm kind of feeling the energy, it's like, oh, I like open this, like, you know, this bag of into my shadow, and I'm like looking at it, and oh, this hurts and this is uncomfortable, and ooh, I really wish that wasn't there. And there's this desire to there's this questioning, like, is it worth it? Like, is looking at all this going to yield a result? Are making changes to my diet going to give me the results I want? Because I've tried things in the past and these things didn't work, or I've looked at these things before and it's too hard, it's too difficult. So the message that I'm getting is just to really encourage everybody that if you need that support from people within your community who have gifts or who can provide guidance, it's okay if you can't do it alone. Like I know at a time when Wendy and I met, we were both struggling with different things, and we were very much a support for each other. Tess, who's also here on the call today, who hasn't spoken yet, her and I met online and have partnered up to offer healing and coaching and intuition guidance to people. And we met through an online community as well. So it's important that you ask for the help that you need in moving through some of the challenges that are here. I'm seeing a lot of people right now have these inspirations, these ideas, these downloads are coming to them, and awakening, and they might not have the support. They don't know what to do with it. But if another really strong message I'm getting is that if you're inspired to do something and it's coming up and you're getting these synchronicities that are happening and it keeps showing up for you, please don't ignore it. Like, please lean into it. Allow, like, spirit and your guides, the unseen forces that are all around us, helping us, wanting to help us heal and evolve and elevate and transform. Like, they are here, and these are, don't underestimate the power of synchronicity. And I can, in this call alone, with my light flickering when people have been talking about certain things, and I know that it's important to take in your environment, because your environment is a reflection of yourself outwardly. And sometimes it's hard when things in the environment are difficult that are happening, but it doesn't mean that there isn't, like, sweet, like, nectar available, like, in the everyday, in the now moment, and that are available. I'm seeing a lot of people need to shift their mindset and move on from old ways of thinking and believing. A lot of people need to also relocate on the earth plane. Like, if you're waiting for a message and you're listening to this video and you're like, I don't know, should I move? Like, maybe this is that little push. Like, if you feel called somewhere on the earth and that you need to be there and go do that light work there in that place, I'm really feeling that strongly that people need to listen to that intuition. There's gateways and portals. Their souls are kind of waiting, these checkpoints that they're waiting to go through. I'm seeing a lot of that. And also just be mindful of what you're creating. I've got the Magician card here, and the woman in the card, she's covering half of her face. So it's like, we are all creating our outward reality, and just to be mindful that yes, it's difficult to own your power and to come back into alignment with what you really want. And sometimes we've all had experiences creating something we don't like in our lives and causes us pain. But I promise that even the painful experiences that we create that hurt our hearts, or that's all an opportunity to be here, to be more open, to open our hearts, to to create more of what we do want. And if we can master creating what we do want in our lives, we can spread that joy and that openness and that love and that higher vibration and go out and share that magic with other people. I know some of you had mentioned being in kind of like hermit mode or not feeling like you had a community for a long time. And one of my favorite things about being here in Texas is how kind and friendly people are here. And Tess has really taught me as well that you can just, if you have a feeling about someone in your vicinity, you can just go and approach them and you know, give them a little bit of your light that day and spread joy and peace. And you know, some people need a hug. You're out at a restaurant and someone's having a bad day and you say, you know, I could give you a hug, and I can't tell you how many times people want that hug. You know, they want to be recognized and noticed and loved, just like we all want that for ourselves. So, you know, this is very intense times right now. The energies are really intense, the nodal shifts. There's going to be mirrors and people all over the place and reminders that, you know, we do create this experience very much, and just to hold yourself in tenderness, and that there's guides everywhere. I've even just sitting here with y'all in the last hour or so has been a reminder that we're not alone, and the inner work is worth it, and that we're here to all like love each other and raise the vibration on the planet, and just do your best. You're doing great. Everyone's doing great. Just do your best. So that's my message.
Thank you, Sarah. That was beautiful. Tess, are you ready to share?
Yes, everybody. Hi. Damn glad to be here. That's kind of my theme most days. I'm just damn glad to be here. I'm just damn glad to be alive, everybody. So my background is I have always been interested in the mythology, the esoteric, different religions, the whole background of that, of researching my whole life. Like, yeah, aliens, let's look at this thing. It's just everything that you could say would be the stuff that not people are, everyone's aware of. Like, I was looking into that. And my background took me into sales, doing training for other people. So I've always had a thing for helping or working with other people. So my path now has been Akashic readings. Like Sarah said, we do things together, which is really fun. What I see though a lot is what everyone has said, and it's kind of cool that I'm been able to hear everything, that we all enjoy finding people as ourselves here, that we can say these words and everyone knows. Like if I say Akashic records, y'all are like, yeah, I know what that means. Whereas if we walk into a McDonald's and say, hello, Akashic records reading, anyone? And people would say, I'm sorry, what? Well, I think that's the cool thing about when we get into these things, is that if we are out in the world, if we open our ears and hear, there are code words that are being spoken by other people, that if we choose to connect with them, we can find something to be on the level with them, to maybe give them an insight into our world. And as those insights and connections grow, there's more and more ability for people to do this research themselves and to learn more on their own. And I am not a hermit at all. I am the opposite of a hermit. I need to get the hell out of my house and go sit in a coffee shop and talk to random people. That's me. And if I'm at home more than like 3 or 4 days, I'm like, I need to go to the grocery store or something, because, you know, it's time to get out of here. If I need to, you know, go to a bar, have a drink, I don't know, but sometimes I just need to get out of my house, right? So I am the opposite of a hermit, and I respect those of you who are hermits, because I feel that sometimes too, or I do need to check out. And that's a message that I've been receiving too, is really the idea of discernment and figuring out who should be in your life. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, if y'all think about people, if you think about 10 people right now and you name them that you deal with on a daily basis, I mean, you can rank them. Do I want to have this person over for dinner? Do I want to have coffee with this person? Do I never really want to see this person ever again if I can help it? And once we start, I don't want to say categorizing people, but once we start realizing, why am I hanging out with somebody that I don't even really want to have coffee with, if I were to ask that question? And the idea is that maybe there are people, and that's what we're talking about, bringing people into our circle. Maybe if we kind of let go some of those people who maybe aren't the ones we even really want to have coffee with, the people that we do want to have coffee with, that we do want to have into our lives, that we do want to have dinner with and socialize with, those people will start coming forward because we provided that opportunity for the, if we want to say dead weight, to kind of go away. So that's sort of what I've been, when the idea of discernment, of teaching people how to understand the people around you, even in, you know, business owners, whoever, everyone can use this idea of who should they have close to them, because that's important that we protect ourselves, definitely. And plus it's more fun to be around people that are fun and friendly, right? I mean, heck yeah, right? And then just the idea of perspective, that, you know, we always are talking about shadow work, or this is a flaw of mine, or this is something that I need to work on. Perhaps look at those flaws that we label and say, maybe that's really not a flaw. Like, something about that is there for me to look at. How can I tilt it a little bit, maybe look at it from another perspective and say, maybe that's something I have in me that's teaching me something. And the other super random thing, now that my dog wants to get out of my room, hold on a second. I knew that was going to happen as soon as I started talking. So the other thing that's been really interesting that keeps coming up is Sarah and I have been talking about this, and then we're like, but what about this? Is the topic of deja vu. Now, deja vu has a lot of definitions. Everyone has their own perception of it, but the idea of deja vu has really, it keeps coming back to me. And my guides keep saying, look at this, look at this, look at this. There's something there. And what I'm seeing with the idea of deja vu is it is a merging of timelines, or it's a stopping point where you have an opportunity to see something that is from another, if you want to say timeline, another reality. And generally deja vu happens not in the middle of a crisis situation, but just like you're walking down the street and you go, huh, have I ever been here before? But you haven't. And what I'm seeing with deja vu, and the reason I think I'm bringing it up, is if you see this happening in your life, it's not necessarily in that moment that you need to see something. It's just take a look at what's happened to you recently and be mindful of some changes that might be coming into place, because deja vu definitely does happen for a reason. And that's something that I am just digging in for whatever reason right now. And I'm supposed to talk about that. So deja vu, that's my code word for today.
Cool. I love that. I have those deja vu moments sometimes where I'm like, wait, I did this before. For me, I think it's a moment where I go, it's like it brings me to a very intense present moment, because I start, like you said, you look around and I'm like, okay, so if I did that before, what am I doing this time? You know, because it almost feels like a redo or something. And it's like, wait, look. And it can be the smallest thing, but yeah, that's interesting, Tess. I'm not sure how to explain it either, but that was something cool to bring up.
But deja vu also, since it happens for different people, it's also a code and a message for each individual to understand how their psychic gifts work. If it's coming in as a precognition, if it's coming in as a moment in reality that you're able to perceive perhaps things that other people don't. So it comes differently for different people, just like people dream differently. It's the same idea. So anyway.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. Did I get everybody? I have something I want to share, but I want to make sure that I got around to everybody.
Holly's here, but she's not feeling 100%. So she just wanted to listen. I think she's still here. She's still here.
Yeah. Let us know if you want to speak, Holly.
Okay.
All
Speak
right.
now or forever hold your peace.
Yes. Yeah. So it's really cool how there is this common thread that runs through all of us. And a lot of the same things came up for me when I started to write about what I wanted to share, which is more from my human self, which is also divinely guided. But I feel like I've been being shown the how connected we are to technology, how connected our minds are to our devices and to social media. And what has come to my awareness about this is that we need to be really aware of that, and that our thoughts are really attracting things to us in our reality, but also within technology. And it's sort of just this wake up call to be like, okay, hold on, who's driving the car right now? Like, if my brain is the car, who's driving? And I think we have many different spiritual forces that drive the car, to be honest with you. And that's another thing just to sort of be curious about. And it, that message also about not, letting your faith in a better world overpower your fears is something that I feel is really important, but also to not stuff the fears away, to allow the fears to arise and to look at them and to see what solutions am I being offered with this fear, or what is this trying to tell me about a part of myself that I've been suppressing? Like Tess was saying about the shadow, like, how can we look at it from a different perspective? And I feel like a lot of times the shadow is just a voice that wants to be heard. And the shadows outside of us in our society are expressions of the collective's unconscious. It's the expression of what we collectively have not brought to light yet. It is the parts of us collectively that have been hurting. And I think that if we can look at it from a higher perspective, a more objective perspective like that, we develop this capacity for more compassion. And I think that compassion really starts with ourselves, like Kelly was saying. Like, you see all these relationships and these mirrors, and maybe there's something that triggers you about somebody else, but can we bring it back to us and see where that is within us? And I'm not saying that like every single little shadow you see is yours. I'm just saying to have compassion for it all, and I do believe that our vibration is rising and that consciousness is expanding, and we are bringing more to light. And I think that there's still a lot to be dissolved, and there's a lot of people who don't see everything that's going on yet. And who knows, they may not ever see it. And I think that we can develop the compassion to hold all of those people where they're at too, and just as a guiding light, be that person who can just have open arms, while also maintaining your boundaries, respecting what you need. But yeah, I think that I've been on a journey through a journey with judgment, and I feel like I'm coming through to another side of it, or another layer, whatever you want to call it, where perhaps I'm ready just to accept a lot of parts of myself that I didn't want to accept before. And I wanted to point the finger and blame rather than looking at what was within me, So I think, with this Aries Libra nodal shift, I think whatever needs to arise within us, we'll be seeing it in the mirror outside of us. And I just think it's so important to connect with the earth right now. And that's another piece with the technology. It's like, I'm so thankful for the technology and that it's created these platforms where we can all gather like this. And also, I realized that I need to have boundaries with it, and I need to be involved in my real life. And I could really be missing out on a lot, if I'm just like sucked in on the phone. So I guess I feel like there's a lot of self-awareness that I'm trying to develop or get a little bit better with. And that includes a lot of what you guys have been talking about: awareness of my body, awareness of my energy. And I think that all of the things that are sort of happening with technology and happening in the world that look terrible and really scary, I think that they are all transmutable. And I think that energetically, spiritually, magically, I think that's why a lot of us are being turned back on in that way. And I'm just seeing like this third eye opening, which really is like that lotus. And so, yeah, I want to thank everybody for your awareness again, and for being here. And I think that's pretty much, that's my petal to contribute to the lotus. So
Can I say one more thing, Wendy? Before we
yes.
get to Debra? It's quick. When you were saying that, it reminded me it's important to try to stay in observer mode. And I've been reminded of that a lot from my guides. Just observe and not be caught in anything, you know? And so that's always the way of the ascended master, is to observe, especially if you're like in a situation with a loved one or a relationship and it gets, you know, like arguing or things like that. It's always good to just observe what's going on, because a lot of times it may not be about you, it's about the other person, but they're projecting their feelings on you.
Yeah.
And I know that came up a lot this past month. And I have, my daughter's 11, you know, I have a new earth child. Debra has a new earth, 2 new earth children. Wilson has a new earth child, you know, we all do. And it's like, it's a lot, you know, we're trying to be our own. I've been falling back on what Debra says, is it's all modern day mystic initiations. And that has helped me so much when I'm like struggling and I'm thinking, I'm trying to keep my vibration high and I'm trying to just observe this situation, but yet I'm feeling those emotions come on. And so you saying that just reminded me that if we can all stay kind of neutral and just notice the changes in the collective and in others and hold space for the love that we carry in our hearts, to just shine that out as much as we can to others.
Yeah. And I feel like for me in my own personal life, when it's just me and I'm in my zone, I want to be as in it as possible. Like I want to be I want to be feeling everything. I want to be fully engaged. And I think that we teeter-totter on the seesaw of that on this spiritual journey, where we can be way out here and it's just like amazing. And then we can also be in like the depths of despair. Yeah. Or we can also just be in the middle too, where it's just like, this is interesting. And I feel like honoring all of it is the way through it, you know, because I think that every step, every stage is a part of our journey and deserves to be honored, you know?
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Thank you. So if nobody else has anything, Debra, you're still with us here, right?
I've just been listening. I've been taking this meeting to just kind of sit back and listen to a lot of people, because I am usually the one doing all the talking, and it was nice for a change to kind of listen to all of you guys and your stories. So
I
yeah,
love that so much.
Basically what I'm going to be doing now is kind of a mini version of the hypnosis sessions that I do one-on-one with people, but because we're now working with a group and nobody's going to be talking, it's going to be like a very deep meditation, like a meditative journey to Telos. Who here has not heard of Telos yet? Everybody? Yay. We're going to be working with Saint Germain and the Violet Flame and the Seraphim angels, Archangel Michael and Archangel Samuel. And most of you guys will know who Archangel Michael is. He's like the boss of the angels. So yeah, he's all about clearing, cutting cords, releasing old programming, stuff like that, empowerment, stuff like that. Samuel's name means God's love. So he's about self-love, compassion, worthiness, all of those things that you need when you are trying to implement new thought patterns. So Michael will come in and kind of clear the old energy, and then Samuel will come in and put something new in place. So that's what we're going to be doing. So yeah, just get comfortable. If you want to lay down. Oops,
Can
yes, Wendy.
I just want to mention real quick, can we take like a 2-minute break really
Yes.
quick? So
Yes.
if anybody needs to go to the bathroom, because I do. Okay, awesome. Be back in 2.
Okay. We're timing you.
And for those that are still here, you can turn your camera off if you want and just turn it back on. And if you want to lay down or whatever, you can sit up. Just make sure that you are comfortable for at least 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're still waiting for a few people, I think.
Okay.
Okay, I think everybody's back. So yeah, you can either lay down or just sit up as long as you can be in a position that you can stay in for at least 20 minutes in a comfortable way. And you can turn your camera off if you prefer, because yeah, you're going to be having your eyes closed anyway. So yeah, when everybody is comfortable and ready, we'll just begin. Okay. Kris is getting ready.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, so yeah, everybody just close your eyes and make sure that you are in a comfortable position. And just breathe in and breathe out in a way that is comfortable for you. And as you are breathing in, just focus on how your body feels when you inhale, how your stomach rises when you breathe in, and how it falls down again when you breathe out. And with each breath in, you are now breathing in golden light from the Seraphim Angelic Collective. And you can see this light as a golden mist that is entering your nose and filling up your lungs. And if you're having trouble visualizing this, you can feel this golden light entering in through the nose, and it may feel warm. You can feel how this light is filling you up, filling up your lungs, and making you feel lighter and lighter. If you have any distracting thoughts, just send this golden light there. And if you have any pressure anywhere in the body, set your intention to send the golden light there. And you will notice that your mind is starting to feel more relaxed. Your emotions are starting to feel more relaxed. And your body is in a deep state of relaxation. As more and more of this golden light fills you up, you feel completely at ease. And we're going to call upon the Ascended Master, Saint Germain, and the Violet Flame, who will be assisting us in transmuting old energy. We're going to call upon Archangel Michael to assist us in clearing, releasing, deleting, and transmuting a lot of energies and old programming. And we're going to call upon the Archangel Chamuel to assist us in installing unconditional love in those places where we had this old programming running. And as you are still breathing in all of this golden light, you may see gold around you. You may just feel a warm sensation when you are breathing in and out. You are starting to notice how the violet flame is working its way into the golden light. And more of this violet light is starting to get mixed in with the golden light. And if you have trouble visualizing this, you can feel this as a sort of electricity and protection. This is the violet flame and Saint Germain. And around you, there is starting to form a pod. You are kind of in a cocoon. And you may feel very comfortable and safe in this cocoon type space. And when you pay close attention, you will see that this is an amethyst cocoon that is all around you right now. And as you are focusing again on your breath and breathing in this golden light, I want you to send as much light as you can to your heart space. And your heart is expanding and expanding with each breath in, until there is so much light, so much golden energy in this heart space that a cord is starting to form. A cord that is going all the way through your feet into the center of the earth. You are connecting your golden heart to the golden heart of the planet. I'm going to count from 1 to 10. And with each number, you will feel yourself descending down to the golden heart of Mother Earth, along this golden cord of light, in this crystal bed, this amethyst cocoon that you are in right now. You're going to go down all the way to Telos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You are now all the way in the center of the earth, in Telos, where the Violet Flame Temple is located. And you are no longer on your bed or on your chair. You're actually on a crystal bed. And this bed is not cold or hard, as you may imagine a crystal bed to feel like. It is actually very comfortable and soft and warm, this crystal bed. And on one side of you is the Ascended Master, Saint Germain. And on the other side of you is your higher self. You may be able to visually see these beings by your side, but you may also simply get a sense of a presence, an inner knowing that they are right there with you. And Saint Germain is going to assist us in transmuting any energy in our chakras that we are ready to release today. And he places his hand on your crown chakra. And you may see this, or you may simply get a warm, tingling sensation in the crown. Anywhere where we are subconsciously plugged into thought clouds, ideas that aren't necessarily ours, any imprints from the ancestral line, astral cords, energies that we have simply picked up while out and about, shopping, walking down the street, energies from past life aspects that are no longer necessary to carry in our crown in this lifetime where it is safe to be ourselves and where it is safe to connect through the crown to this intuitive knowledge. Archangel Michael, please clear, release, delete, and transmute these energies from the crown across all time, dimensions, space, and reality, and across all lifetimes. And Archangel Samuel, please replace this with clear thinking and knowing, immediately knowing with our minds what is true and what is not true in today's minefield of information. And as you are feeling this shift taking place in your crown, Saint Germain moves his hand to your third eye chakra. Anywhere where we are subconsciously blocking our clear view of things, where we have a subconscious off switch or safety valve because our soul remembers traumatic past lives. So we may feel safer if we don't see these images again. Any subconscious fears of seeing multidimensional information and images that may be overwhelming, Archangel Michael, please clear, release, delete, and transmute these energies across all time, dimensions, space, and reality, and across all lifetimes. And Archangel Samuel, please replace this with feeling safe to see clearly with the third eye, so that the knowledge from the crown can come through and be seen with our inner eye, so that we may always trust our inner sight in today's world, and that we can always handle what we see with our inner sight, because we are always held and protected by Mother, Father, God, when we use our divine gifts in alignment with our soul mission. And as you are feeling how the shift is taking place in your third eye, Saint Germain moves his hand to your throat chakra. Anywhere where we are subconsciously closing up our throat, not allowing for the energy to flow through this area of our chakra system due to fear, subconscious soul memories from lifetimes where we were hurt and silenced, maybe even by hanging, which would result in an etheric scar on the throat, childhood experiences where we felt anxiety about speaking up, subconscious programming from the collective egregores of galactic war times, Atlantean persecution, any witch or magician wounds, any wounds for being a mystic in any shape or form by speaking your inner wisdom, and therefore being in danger in these past lives, which causes us to not speak in this here and now. Archangel Michael, please clear, release, delete, and transmute these energies across all time, dimensions, space, and reality, and across all lifetimes. And Archangel Samuel, please replace this with an open feeling in the throat, feeling a deep healing and melting away of any tension, feeling the energy and wisdom from the crown running through the third eye, where it can be anchored into clear visions, feeling it moving down the throat, where it is anchored into the cells of your throat, so that you can feel safe and confident in what you feel is true, so that you may speak it and attract those souls who need to hear your words. And as you are feeling how the shift is taking place and how your throat is opening up, Saint Germain then moves his hand to your heart space. Anywhere where we are subconsciously closing off the heart because there is pain stored there. From being in this world as a sensitive soul in this lifetime, in other lifetimes, from experiencing the gap perhaps between the 3D and the 5D. Any trauma that is stored in the heart from past life vows, contracts, oaths, and the pain that those agreements have caused you, that you are still carrying in your heart. Any pain from negatively polarized energetic interference in this lifetime or any other soul incarnation that is located in your heart. Archangel Michael, please clear, release, delete, and transmute these energies across all time, dimensions, space, and reality, across all lifetimes. And Archangel Samuel, please replace this with an open heart so that you may anchor into your heart all of this wisdom from the crown, all of your crystal clear visions from the third eye, and the ability to feel with aligned empathy into what wants to come through when you speak and use your voice in this world, and a feeling of deep connection to Mother, Father, God from your heart to the heart of Mother Earth and to the heart of the central sun, our masculine center of energy in our galaxy. And as you feel how your heart is opening up and releasing anything that does no longer belong there, Saint Germain moves his hand to the solar plexus. Anywhere where we are subconsciously experiencing tension and fear of moving forward, fear of being fully yourself because it feels unsafe to fully shine your light. Any feelings of wanting to hold on to old stories for safety because they are comfortable. Old stories from our ancestors, from other soul incarnations, old coping skills that keep you small and frozen. Archangel Michael, please clear, release, delete, and transmute these energies across all time, dimensions, space, and reality, and across all lifetimes. And Archangel Samuel, please replace this with an open solar plexus that feels light, relaxed, safe, and in connection with our central sun, so that you may feel the energy from the crown, third eye, throat, and heart anchor itself deeply into your abdominal area. It is safe to be an intuitive human in 2023. It is safe to speak and use your voice, and it is safe to trust your inner vision. And it is safe to claim your place in this world and share your soul medicine. And as you feel how the solar plexus is being lit up and opened up, Saint Germain then moves his hand to the sacral chakra. Anywhere where we are subconsciously carrying stagnant energy, writer's block, creator's block, fear of connecting to your intuitive side and creator side, any past life or childhood mental programming around your creative center, which is your sacral area for both men and women, any shame or guilt or past life oaths of celibacy or misuse of the sacral energy in this lifetime or any other that is keeping you from fully tapping into your creative center. Archangel Michael, please clear, release, delete, and transmute these energies across all time, dimension, space, and reality, and across all lifetimes. And Archangel Samuel, please replace this with feeling fully connected to your creative center, inspiration, seeing and feeling this space as a beautiful garden with lots of wildflowers and plants growing. These plants and flowers are all of your creative ideas for the future that are in alignment with your soul mission. As you are feeling how any stagnant energy is being replaced with all of this creative energy, Saint Germain then moves his hand to the root chakra. Anywhere where we are subconsciously feeling the urge to want to escape the body, the feeling that the body is an unsafe place to be spending time, the urge to want to escape and be in the mind a lot and not present in the physical world, any past life programming where the body was an unsafe place for you, any physical experiences that were unpleasant in this lifetime or any other, causing us to detach from our root and our body. Archangel Michael, please clear, release, delete, and transmute these energies across all time, dimensions, space, and reality, across all lifetimes. And Archangel Samuel, please replace this with feeling deeply rooted into our physical body, anchoring in all of this energy that has been awakened in the crown, in the third eye, in the throat, heart, solar plexus, in the sacral chakra, and in the root chakra. So we can clearly know, see, speak, feel, sense, and create from a place of full alignment with Mother, Father, God. And as you are fully relaxed, fully aligned on this crystal bed, you may thank Saint Germain and your higher self for holding the space. And we are going to thank Archangel Michael and Archangel Samuel and the Seraphim Collective for assisting us. And the Seraphim are still sending their beautiful golden light our way. And as you breathe in this light, you are still feeling this golden sensation coursing through your body. And in this golden mist of light, you experience the presence of a circle of people around you, and you are in the middle of this circle. You may be able to visually see other people standing around you in a circle, or you may simply feel the loving presence of beings in a circle. These are other soul aspects of your soul, other incarnations, other parallel lifetimes that are wanting to heal with you now, today, that may have been affected by the energies that we have now cleared up. And from your golden heart, set the intention to reach out to their heart. And you can see how a golden cord, like roots that are growing, or a vine or something, is connecting your heart to their heart. You may see this visually. You may simply feel a pulling sensation in your heart space. This is your heart connecting to the hearts of all these other soul aspects that are here to heal with you today. And I'm going to give you some time to just be in the presence of all these other aspects of your soul, these other lifetimes that your soul has experienced that are healing with you today. And you may be able to see where this golden light is going in their bodies. You may get a download or a sense. They may be communicating back to you where the healing is taking place for you and for them simultaneously. And you can always come back to this place of connecting to your own golden heart and to your other parallel lifetimes by taking a few conscious breaths and setting the intention to connect with the golden light and connecting your heart to the hearts of all of your other incarnations that your soul has experienced. And we're going to thank the Seraphim Collective for their assistance. And you can start to become aware of your hands and feet. And start to become aware of your body as you are breathing in and breathing out. And I'm going to count from 10 back to 1. And with each number, you will start to feel that you are going up again. And you are becoming more aware of your surroundings and your body again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And still keeping your eyes closed, just focus on your breath. And breathe in and breathe out in a way that is comfortable for you. And when you are ready, you may take your time. You may open your eyes.
Thank you, Debra. That was amazing.
You are welcome.
That was really cool. I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna have to listen to it again.
Same. I think I might have like dozed off, but I know it was still doing what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even if I've had people fall asleep during the
Yeah.
session and I am not getting responses and I'm like, oh, they're sleeping. What do I do? So it's happened. You still get, because it's when you go into hypnosis, you go into alpha and theta brainwave states. And it's the same thing like those typical things like back in the 90s, you could listen to cassettes to learn French or whatever, like you could study while sleeping. That's what you do when you're in alpha and theta brainwave. So you're still going to absorb everything that was said in the hypnosis, but your conscious mind isn't going to remember. But that doesn't matter because the subconscious work is still being done. It's still happening on a subconscious level.
Good.
Mhm.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah, but that's good. You can always listen to it again and do it again on your own. Yeah, you can always do it again. I think we're all back. Kelly is still coming out of it. But that's okay.
I'm here and fell asleep.
So I hope that that was nice for everybody. And yeah, if you feel like you want to share what your experience was like, definitely, yeah, we would like to hear. But of course, if you don't want to share, then that's fine. But I think is I wasn't in the hypnosis, but I always feel the energy that's coming off of the other person, or in this case, people. And it felt like everybody was just really feeling for them what was having to come up, and it was easy to release it because it was happening in a group setting. And everybody's energy was kind of supporting everybody else's individual process. That's what I felt.
I
Well, thank
remember the part about being in the amethyst bubble, and then you sang to lay down, and it was comfortable. It wasn't hard, and that felt like a blanket. And then that's kind of all I remember.
But that's fine. That's fine. But that's where a lot of people actually fall asleep. That's funny.
Oh, wow.
That's where a lot of people
Yeah, for being comfortable.
yeah. But that's good. It means that it really worked.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely
you.
saw a lot of energy going to my different chakras. For like you were talking about seeing your different past life aspects, and I felt a lot in the sacral, and then I was also seeing energy going to my solar plexus and my throat and my heart. So it's kind of like those center chakras that were needing the most love.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was my throat. I do remember that. Which doesn't surprise me.
Feel like that was a big one for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Yeah, for me individually, the throat. As I'm like raspy voice.
Actually, it would be that bad for me that when I did the hypnosis sessions with people and I was reading my own script and I was then reading the throat, like I was starting to talk about the throat, that my throat would close up. But now, like I was thinking, no, that's not going to happen, is it? Please don't let it happen. And then it didn't happen. So, whew.
Nice. You've done some clearing there.
Yeah. So yeah, that was nice that everybody seems very relaxed. You guys all seem super relaxed. Like you just like came out of a sauna or something.
I'm on cloud 9 right now. I'm feeling very, very good. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm feeling it.
I think they took me
The next meditation.
they took me away, like went somewhere else.
Yeah.
Checked out completely. I remember when you were doing, I think the heart, because I felt like a bam, and then my whole body jerked, like I jolted, and I kind of came awake for a second, and then I went right away again, and then I didn't wake up until you said to wake up.
Yeah,
Did
but that's
happen, that like bam from the heart, like in a jolting. Did anybody else have that happen?
I felt like a gush, like just like a dam breaking, almost just like warmth when you were talking about the heart.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one that Wendy also said. Who was it? Wendy that said the heart, or no, Kris with the elementals. And
Yeah,
the
no,
heart.
I said my throat.
Yeah, but that the elementals connect to the heart chakra,
Oh,
right?
yeah. They
Yeah.
do. And ironically, I was going to do, I know it's getting really long, guys, but Haiku was asking me to share the dragon, opening your dragon heart, but I promise it's only about like 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
Do we want to do that real quick? If people feel called to listen to this?
Probably.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go for it.
Let me just explain an explanation of the dragon heart. The dragon heart is at the center of your connection with your dragon guide. We're connected together through the silver cord of spirit. Our souls are intertwined and will always be so. You are one with your dragon, and they are one with you. When you look and feel inside your heart, do you feel that your dragon heart is open? Let's take a moment to do an exercise on this. And this is what channeled for my dragon guide. Sit in a comfortable place and close your eyes. This will be fast. Take a deep breath in and out. Tune into your heart. Feel your breath and your heartbeat. Thank your dragon guide for connecting with you within your heart space. Are you feeling anything or receiving any visions? Thank your guide for sending you a vision of your heart. The dragon heart is where you are intertwined. It is right next to your heart. It's the cord between you and your dragon. Some would say it looks like a string, but it's actually a cord that connects your two hearts together. So you will see your heart, and next to that will be the dragon heart. And there will be something connecting you, whether it looks like a string, a ribbon, just a small line that you might visualize. What's coming to you? So sit with
Mine
that.
was his tail. The cord was his tail.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. That's so cool.
I'm already crying.
Oh my gosh. So everyone's is going to be unique. See the cord between you two glowing with the light of the violet flame. It's a spark of the violet flame. This is what you use to transmute any lower densities or energies from your heart. You also invoke the violet flame on your missions to transmute any lower energy you encounter. The dragons work with Saint Germain and the violet flame to transmute any negative energy they come in contact with. It simply hits the light of the violet flame, and through telepathy, we transmute the energy. Now I ask you, do you see the cord connecting you and your dragon? Let us breathe light and love into this connection, like embers that are growing and growing as you breathe on them, stoking the fire, getting stronger and stronger as it glows. It could be violet, it could be orange. You'll see it glowing. The connection between your two hearts. Now you may thank your dragon guide for being your soul partner and connecting your dragon heart back together now. Your dragon heart is open. And so it is. You may take a moment, or if you're ready, you may open your eyes.
Beautiful, Kris.
I hope that that's something now that you can go forward in knowing that you are fully connected and your dragon heart is open. So that's up to you on the relationship that you want to build now. You may start to see syncs. You may start to see like synchronicities. You may start seeing more dragon things, hearing things, maybe hearing their name, sort of getting a visual of what they may look like, even what color they are. Just be open to all of it. Don't let your ego suppress it or for your ego to dismiss it.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys so much for all being here and contributing. I really appreciate not only the common thread that runs through all of us, but also all of our different perspectives. And I just really love that we could create a space like this for all of our voices to be heard and to bring our visions for a better way of living, a more heart-centered life to the table. And I had to pull a feather card before we leave. And this card is so appropriate. I got the vulture. Can you guys see that? I can't see myself. So
yeah.
Okay. And there's the other side. So The card says, accept the inevitable, let go of the past, and welcome a rebirth to begin. And I'm just going to read this really quick. The vulture is a powerful and large raptor that relies on others to kill prey and on their own incredible sense of smell to locate food. Its role as a scavenger is highly necessary and valued. They possess a unique digestive system that allows them to purify the waste, which helps keep the environment in balance. Symbolically, they appear in ancient Greek and Pueblo traditions as a guardian of the mysteries of life and death. Their feathers are used in rituals for grounding and to symbolize the divine union of heaven and earth. And I feel like that was the intention for this gathering, is to use all of our divine connections and bring them together on this earthly plane. And we're doing it, y'all. New Earth now.
Connecting our light all across the world.
Yeah.
Victory of the light.
And the last thing he said, this affirmation at the very end, is I honor and accept all of my life experiences. So I just really love that. It's really about digesting it all. So
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I was at ice cream with our friends last Friday night, and I looked over and I saw a bird on a post, a very large bird sunning itself. And I said, is that a real bird? Because it was so big. And it looked like it wasn't moving. It looked like they maybe just put it there to scare other things off. And the mother and I were like, yeah, I think it must be a turkey vulture because it was so big. And then we
Whoa.
and then looked back and it was gone. And then it flew over the top of us, like right over the top of us. And those things are like gigantic.
yeah.
I've seen them in Oregon. They're huge, huge. I thought it was an eagle or something.
No, they're enormous.
Wow.
I've never seen one do that. It was like on this fence post, just sunning its wings. It was the coolest thing ever.
I love it because there's just these big dark birds, and we think of them as kind of like gross, and because they eat the dead stuff, but they're so important. Like it's the dark is just as important as the light. It's not good or bad. It's like there's places for everything, and ways to transmute everything, so I just love it. Thank you guys.
It's cool if you see them in a big group doing that.
Totally. Cool. Well, I guess
you.
we'll
It was so
wrap
nice
this
to meet
up.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you
guys.
all. Thank you for being brave enough to share.
Yes, thank you.
Me included.
Yes. Sending love to you all. Bye.
Bye.